It was diluted. It was like a blood gift from a sorcerer or something.
That's her. She has the Yeti bloodline.
Yes. Exactly. All right, Eugene. All five of them, because all five of them are going to follow. They
Sure.
look. They do look skeptical.
Yeah, Potman's going to take his celebration smoke on the way.
Okay.
Surprised, because that honestly means they're leaving their pilot by himself. No, they got the other guy up there, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to fucking offer up hits to everyone else, too. Brag about his bong that he made himself.
Doesn't follow. They definitely do look skeptically at Potman. It might have something to do with the route, but surely Elf Boy knows the way to the farmland.
Probably.
The promised farm.
The promised lands.
So does anyone partake?
None of them are.
Teetotalers.
I don't currently have a bullet in me, and it's begun to heal slowly. I'm okay.
Yeah.
As we go to the land of the moon elves.
So yeah,
Thought we were going to the green elf land.
It is quite a trek to get from the epicenter all the way back to the warehouses.
sure. As we pass by Crazy Yellow Thing, Potman will point into that warehouse and say, "Oh, down there is where the egg is, and on your left,
And on your left, you can see the crazy yellow building.
yeah, there's a terrifying egg down there.
It's not really that scary.
It is just horrifying.
There's
It's-
really nothing scary about it.
Honestly, I've learned to fear anything that looks zombie related. It's how I'm alive.
In fact, I'm actually curious now that you have restored power to this area, right? I'm curious whether anything changed with it.
I'm not curious at all.
Riggs says, "For one, the power was only restored in the main epicenter, the hospital and administrative areas, as well as the labyrinth of passages. I did not think that lighting the rest of the facility would be of use. For second, you might not have noticed, but we were in that warehouse when we initially landed. Elf boy."
Okay, Starscream.
Okay, well, did you climb down underneath it?
Naturally,
Did you see the giant egg?
we saw what you referred to as an egg, yes.
Oh,
Is
okay,
that where
cool.
the thing was supposed to be that you were looking for?
There were numerous statements of items and equipment that were to be obtained, none of which we found.
What was it?
The entire functioning apparatus that is set to control such a room, the egg room as you call it, is non-existent. It has already been removed, even though Dr. Knight said it would not have been.
What was it supposed to do?
He shrugs.
It's above his pay grade.
Oh. That's...
Well,
Dr. Knight was more concerned with retrieving the four of you. You'll have to forgive my ignorance.
It's all good. Okay.
Are you sure?
you guys are aware you all sound like comic villains, right?
Whoa. Hey, man. You shouldn't go making fun of people like that.
It's more of a comment to Grimith, really.
Riggs clears his throat and says, "Why, actually, good sir, I take offense to that situation."
He's just really dehydrated.
I've just got a mucus problem.
You don't understand how terrifying it is to face the zombies day in and day out. That's why we came to Artesia. There's a well. It will solve everything.
I can keep my throat perpetually wetted.
It's my allergies. They've caught up with me again.
Okay.
some pretty bad allergies.
We should mention Mr.
If they're comic book villains, then maybe they're comic book villains. Maybe that's supposed to be an indication.
So there's
no
power here yet, then?
No, the entire warehouse area is unlit.
Does everybody need to go and stare at the dead plants?
Yes.
If not, like, just saying, that place seemed pretty reasonably secure.
Well,
but we don't know anything about most of these warehouses.
We should go and make sure we finish the job on that one you threw down the elevator shaft.
If it did come back, it's still going to be pretty fucked up.
I know, but better safe than sorry. We might want to bring one of the...
You kind of broke all of his rib cage.
Punched out all of his blood.
All of it. Straight out the back.
Yeah. You definitely do have more light with you in this situation. Zane and Crash have both enabled flashlight attachments on their rifles. Riggs has taken Jax's M4 and enabled that. And Jax is not carrying a flashlight since Riggs has his M4.
All I'm saying is, like, we've already found squatters in one of these warehouses. There might be more we don't know about. At some point, we gotta kind of clear it all out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, continuing on.
On the left.
We haven't checked out that warehouse yet, or that warehouse yet, or that warehouse yet.
As you continue listing all of the warehouses except for these three.
Mr. Elfboy, sir, most of these have already been emptied out by army salvage.
I believe you. We just haven't checked yet. We just showed up here out of the blue. We don't know anything about this place.
Yeah, like, we found those two guys in one of these that were emptied out.
Yeah, we're not here on purpose.
Well, I wasn't saying you were, Mr.
No, I believe you. I'm not angry. I'm not accusing you of anything.
I mean... And then, like, he just, like, trails off into silence.
Yeah, okay.
Jack says, like I said, sometimes useless. Zane looks saddened by this remark.
Hey, man, I'm sure you're good for something.
Red shirt.
Is that a Star Trek reference?
See, but Riker wore a red shirt, and he survived all 7 seasons.
Who's Riker?
Okay, that series has been on for a while at this point.
Yeah, but Potman doesn't watch it.
Jax shakes his head and says, he wouldn't have if he hadn't grown the beard.
That's what protected him.
Beard was important, actually. I agree.
Riggs, like, looks over. You watch Star Trek? Shut up.
Yeah?
My girlfriend liked it. Jeez.
But who's Riker?
He's a guy that survived.
He's a guy. He wore a red shirt and survived. That's all you need to know.
Man, you guys say I talk funny.
Go back to reading your Neuromancer and stuff.
Reading my what?
Whatever, nerd.
I feel like that's the exact opposite of what he...
Fucking Shrekies.
The concept of calling Potman a nerd.
I don't get it.
Science is biochemistry. Whatever, nerd.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes, continue your tour.
Okay, we've never been in that one, or that one, or that one, or that one, and here we are.
Good talk.
Oh, Wait, I think I might have overshot it. No. This is the warehouse that the guy fell down the elevator shaft in. Back this way.
Okay. There is still a dead body on the floor where it was left.
Mm.
The 4 soldiers follow. As you actually approach the office area, there is light emanating from it, which you can clearly see as there are no doors and there is a big fucking office window.
Oh.
Yeah.
Someone leave the lights on?
The office room itself isn't illuminated, but the elevator shaft has some dim illumination.
Okay, now that's spooky. That's what we threw the guy down.
And
So,
Riggs says,
looking...
some of the light fixtures were likely still in place. Perhaps Army Salvage did not remove them all.
Yeah, perhaps.
Those slackers.
I mean, if you don't want to check it out, whatever. I'm not going to make you do anything.
We're going to the hydroponics
Yeah, no.
horticulture area, if this is the way there. Which
No,
is
we
clearly the
overshot it.
most
It's like
convenient,
2
fastest
warehouses
way.
down on the
Yeah,
other side.
this is not the fastest way there. But while we're
Like,
here,
we walked right past. I must
go
have
ahead
missed
and
it. 'Cause
go ahead and look down the shaft and see if the body.
Make sure
happens
there's
to be
still
there.
broken thing down there.
Yeah, looks like there's still a dead guy down there.
Does it appear to be moving any or groaning?
or disproportionately decomposed.
Give me a perception plus notice, Ryan.
Trusty Tony doesn't need to look down there. He believes it's all clear as he's already
Doesn't
looked.
doesn't
do I
look
hear
like
any
it's
groaning?
moving. Doesn't sound like anything's groaning down there.
Just kind of shrug.
You want to send Mr. Expendable down there to take a look, just to be sure?
Hey, that's mean.
Well, I mean, we could just refer to him by his shirt color.
Or his name, perhaps.
Yeah, if you're
Go
getting...
by Zane.
Zane says, I don't know how to get to the horticulture area.
Not the horticulture area. Just go down there and make sure that corpse isn't moving.
Zane, looks down the elevator shaft. It doesn't look like it's moving from here.
Go down there and shoot it in the head.
That's a waste of bullets.
That is a waste of bullets. Unless it's actually a zombie, in which case, shoot it in the head immediately.
Zane looks over
I
towards...
want to grab, the
Hey,
tire-
whoa, hold up. No, sorry. I'm not trying to give you orders. That's not my thing.
Zane looks over towards Jax. Jax says, go down there. Zane goes down the ladder while everyone watches.
Just, be careful.
Why? He, looks back up. Why wouldn't I be?
Exactly.
Keep
Why
that
wouldn't you be
mentality. Always be careful.
This statement has appeared to unnerve him greatly. He's here, little low motoring, why wouldn't I be careful?
Always be careful. That's
Yep.
that's the Potman way.
Jax lets
Be
out
careful.
a pain sigh behind the four of you. And
That's
Zane-
presumably why I'm not dead.
Like I went to Jax, I mean,
Yeah.
the paranoia has really actually helped. I mean, aside from the
Zane arrives all the way down at the bottom. Very difficult to see unless the lights get focused at him. And he says, "He's definitely dead, sirs."
mind doing something about the head, something.
Just stomp on it.
Looks.
Just stomp on it.
There's a pause. It says, "Looks crumpled like he suffered a 3-story fall."
Just want to make sure.
Dumbass landed on his head.
That's Zane Fletch.
Force of gravity doesn't give people much of a choice, sir.
Should
I'm
have tried
sorry I
harder.
took a header.
Just gonna shrug and walk away from the elevator.
I'll sleep slightly less horribly tonight.
I won't.
You don't know that yet.
I'll sleep like a baby.
You always sleep like a baby, Tony.
Corporal, can
One-
I come
Yep.
up the ladder now? Yes.
Whew. What a relief. Am I right?
Zane climbs up the ladder.
What a relief.
The hydroponics was back this way.
Yeah. Yeah, Fletch is good for that. He's got a head for memories.
A head
That was
for
a factual
memories.
statement.
What
Yeah,
riveting
I don't know what you call it.
insight.
He's really good at remembering things.
Has that been granted by the marijuana, or was that your gift by God?
Little column B.
Just last in line for brains, and the one he got was sort of rotten and insane.
Little
That sort of
column B.
situation.
Jackson Riggs trade suspicious glances behind you.
Eh.
So we going or what?
You're the leader, elf boy. Lead us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's man, I'll know it when I see where we welded through the wall. And he starts heading back.
All right.
So I think we're going back to UC
Yes.
and going down towards it that way.
Yes.
I'll know it when I see it.
Okay. The entourage of 8 heads to the UC warehouse and heads to the office there and climbs down the ladder. And there Eugene is in an extremely, almost imperceptibly lit labyrinth of mazes with a like maybe 1 in every 7 or 8 light fixtures has been left, and then the several flashlights in the group to cast a very dim, eerie glow on the entire proceeding.
As we're given that it's still, we don't know how secure it is down here, I will draw the kukri at this point.
Okay.
Just in case.
And some more walking time later, Eugene, not so much, but Fletch leads everyone back to the promised land of the hole that's large enough to fit normal-sized humans.
Going back to the Rotten Fish Palace.
Yep, back to the Rotten Fish Palace. Where the 4 soldiers, the entourage you left, look at it. And back to you.
I mean, this is how we cut our way in. Like I said, we've been here less than a day.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, this is what we have to work with.
Yeah, like we don't have some great setup yet. Just what's left over in here, which is, basically intact. Just dead fish.
Defensible, but... And looks over Riggs, well lit, and Riggs says, "It must operate on a separate power source, perhaps to preserve the farming experiments."
Yeah, it was fully lit when we went in. They've got LED lights.
Comic book villain. 1 looks over at comic book villain number 2. And Jax steps over towards the wall that had been plated over with metal but had been weakened enough to cut a hole through, and grips onto that with both of his hands and widens the hole so that he can comfortably walk through.
Holy shit.
And then scrunches a little bit and walks into the light.
Cat, I thought you were strong.
What was that?
The other soldiers follow him.
Okay.
They take some time. They observe the technical proceedings. Really, it's more along the lines of Zane and Crash stand out in the hallways looking through the windows like agape at all of this cool, awesome, crazy technological shit that's been done down here. Whereas Jax and Riggs talk about like setup and technicals and what kind of supplies there is and how long this might take and whether Riggs actually knows anything about any of this. In which case he comments that he can only control the electronics of the area. But if there's someone who actually knows how to handle this better, particularly the farming aspect, then it should be him.
I mean, I'll definitely need some help until then, because this is not ready to go yet.
Riggs nods and says that with his technical expertise, he should be able to help moderate the electronic settings to Potman specifications to better promote plant growth.
Great. Well, the numbers we'll be using are mostly in the documents we've got. It's really detailed.
Riggs will take a look at some of that and conclude that Potman's assessment is accurate and that they're really detailed.
I haven't even started reading through all this yet. I figure I'm going to have to read through most of it to, not accidentally screw this whole thing up. Right? This doesn't seem like the sort of thing you can half-ass.
No. Rick agrees. All right. Riggs.
That's why we were.
Yeah. And Jack says to Riggs that Riggs agrees. Riggs will be handling electronics, setting up the lights, making sure that the base functions, so that if the group here needs to do or accomplish anything.
Okay, and I'm back.
Yes. I'll repeat that. Riggs notes that he'll handle the electronic side of the affair at the installation, trying to check to see what's actually still here in good working order on the entire base, so that if anyone needs anything, it can be done. Like if there's any surplus vehicles or like any of the tracked vehicles left in this labyrinth of passages, or if a map can be found so that people don't have to get lost and can, navigate much quicker, that would really help the whole affair. And secondary, he will help handle you in setting up the farm area. Let's see here. Zane has been assigned to be Eugene's personal bodyguard, to watch over the farm area to make sure that if something happens, like a zombie gets in or there's a straggler or a squatter, Eugene has someone to watch over him.
Hey, Eugene, you got someone slower than you now.
You got a babysitter.
Hey, I'm faster than most of you.
Yes, of course.
You're just as fast as me or Cat.
I don't think either of you got it.
No.
Wait, damn it.
That's how the whole farming area is going to be handled. In which case, it's up to you folks to decide the future of what you're going to do in regards to how you want to scavenge or salvage. The Crash is going to begin the whole set of the construction, like the gathering of like materials, to begin setting up the multiple concentric rings. It's going to take him forever to do that on his own. Breaker's going to do Overwatch, along with Ace in the copter, to ensure that if any enemies are approaching like zombie hordes, you'll get good awareness on that.
I like being aware of zombie hordes approaching.
Yeah, that's a pretty good thing to be aware of.
That's a perk.
And Jax is just going to be awesome.
I mean, it's his curse.
Yes.
Somebody has to do it.
Yeah, might as well be him. Now the question is, what are the three of us not Potman going to do?
Yes, it's important.
Bring Potman food.
And it's important to know not just for
Feed you.
for the next day, but for the next week or 2 weeks
not,
or 3 weeks.
Not only do we need to continue scavenging the area,
Yeah.
and if we run out of stuff on the base to scavenge, we have to go out on excursions. We also still, as I said, need to make sure all these warehouses are clear of potential dangers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing to do. But some of us could also afford, a couple days rest.
Yes, that is certainly a necessity as well.
Yeah, I don't think we're really expecting much danger from these warehouses, are we? And the housing district seemed fairly safe for the most part.
Yeah, but
Because even if we take like 3 days of downtime, we're out of food.
no, we're not out of food. We have
Pretty
3 days.
close to
We have 3 days of food, just including the stuff we scavenged today. If we
Well,
just use,
we ate one of that, so we gained 2 days worth.
yeah,
Which,
we also have.
excluding what we
Yes,
ate today, we're
The
up
point
to
is,
20
we need to
each.
find those MREs.
Right.
All right.
Like, it's light duty. We're not going into a firefight, hopefully.
No, hopefully not. We'll have to see what the cards hold in store.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna be doing light scavenging duty for I don't know, what do you want to say, the next week, or at least until we run out of places to scavenge.
Well,
I'm
that,
just going to buckle down and start reading.
again, same thing of clearing the warehouses. That needs to be priority. Otherwise, we're potentially going to have people inside our perimeter as it gets built.
Yes. That ends up being the plan, at least, which is suggested by Jax, and unless someone has a better enough idea to challenge that, the sort of... I mean, it's either this warehouse block, which is all the way out here, or a concentric, sort of ringed perimeter can be built in the epicenter, where the two twin towers are, where that provides a greater view of everything.
If we could find out if this is connected,
I think we should definitely keep at least one of the towers secure to use as a observation post.
Yes.
But we definitely need the main security base built around the food supply.
Yep.
Otherwise, if we get quote-unquote sieged and we can't get to the food, we're kind of fucked.
In the case, Riggs will note that there is basement access inside those towers as well, so the pathway from the farming area to there would just have to be found, and if a tracked vehicle that's operational could be located or fixed, then it could run between basically this farming area and those towers.
That idea works just fine.
Mm-hmm. Works just fine.
Yeah, we'll have to see how secure that path could be, but definitely an option.
Problem is, really, unless a map of the basement is found, Fletch is the only person who could effectively navigate down there.
I will say, if we take one of the towers or both of the towers and secure those, it'd be much more comfortable living.
They're 7 stories tall.
Offices and stuff that could be partitioned easily.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to cold cement warehouse floors.
And as was initially opinioned, it was correct, the analysis. One of them is like a medical area, although, most of that stuff had been stripped, and one of them was administrative in danger.
Not only that, but that seems to be where the generator is.
Mm-hmm. And it's so well lit, like a beacon of hope and goodwill, attracting everyone to it.
Speaking of, that was the next question I had for, I don't know what to call them, military guys.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for Jax in particular.
Well, he's not the only one that seems to have an opinion among them.
It's fair.
What's their thoughts on other survivors?
Yeah, I mean, we should tell them about that crazy cult compound that's like one town over.
Oh, well, that's heartwarming.
Or the vampire guys running around town.
He seems all right.
I'm pretty sure most of that cult compound, as you call it, is probably dead. But that also means there might be a cache of shit just laying around.
It's actually Riggs who is more of a shoot first, ask questions later policy, and Jax is more along the lines of try to reason with people, because gonna need more help in order to properly and effectively patrol this area, and if if all of that underground lab area can be used to effectively farm, then this base, even as smallly, like, reduced as it would be, could still support a lot of people. And there's no telling how many Zed-heads could end up attacking.
Right. Yeah, one person farming 2 hydroponics labs is going to be a lot of work.
Maybe there's another farmer out there, maybe even a better farmer. And,
Probably a better farmer.
All sorts of other people, not just metalworking, but people who can handle, like, the maintenance of various facilities, who can handle all sorts of other things. Herbalist, doctor, someone who can effectively make ammunition, properly maintain all sorts of other equipment that might be around in the installation.
I think we kind of agree that it's kind of a policy of useful people or people who are not hostile would be fairly welcome. What about people who, let's just say, don't fit?
So you mean non-raiders then?
People like what about people we have to turn away for whatever reason? Obviously, hostile ones would just get shot or stabbed or bludgeoned.
Well, if we're talking about
Load up.
before we let anyone in, we need to do a rather thorough medical examination.
I like the whole idea of a rather thorough medical examination whenever this group several sessions ago, and it was noted, I think, by Ryan, was like, you do realize that...
This is exactly what we would be doing if we had our own place.